year 1337, the beginning of the 100 Years' War between England and France for control of the French throne.
In 1429, as the 100 Years' War raged on, a young peasant girl from the village of Domremy reveals her plan to save France. Her name, Joan of Arc.
Hi, I'm Joan of Arc, and I was born in the early 15th century on a farm in France. Anyways, one day I started hearing the voices of saints, and they told me to dress up like a guy and lead the armies of France into battle against the English. And, since I had nothing going on that weekend, I said, okay.
Among the people who knew Joan personally, her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Arc.
As her father, I'd say she's a good girl. We went through some rough times with those invisible friends of hers, though.
Mon Dieu! She called them her voices. Every time she did something naughty, she'd say, the voices made me do it. I am, how you say, so sure.
One of those voices belonged to Saint Michael.
Yeah, I was one of her voices. And I'm real sorry she got in all that trouble, right? But hey, what can I say? Sometimes this divine mission stuff can get intense, I swear.
Another voice was from Saint Margaret.
All we voices wanted her to do was raise an army and defend France. Isn't that right, Saint Groucho?
You bet your life.
Then there was Saint Catherine.
Joan was a bit of a loon. I remember the calla lilies were in bloom when she first started battling the English. And oh, the pants thing? That was my idea.
They had a sale at Le Gap for martyrs.
Hongxi. During Joan's lifetime, he was Emperor of China.
I know nothing of this Joan of Arc. Typical. You Westerners think the whole world is concerned about your history. Well, newsflash, we're not. But if you want to buy some bootleg Madonna CDs, let me know.
Yes, Joan changed the lives of many people of France, including the future king, who would be known as Charles VII. He's the one in the middle.
Well, after my father died, I was having a hard time getting recognized as king. So, it was because of this treaty that my father once signed. England's king automatically became the king of France. And he was only a baby! I want to be king! It's not fair! I mean, I really should be king!
But things got so much better for Charles in 1429 when I led a French force and stopped the English at the siege of Orleans.
Hey! Ralph of Cornwall, English soldier.
Right. Yes, well, we, the English, were beaten rather badly by Joan at Orleans. It was embarrassing. Excuse me, please. Sorry about that. And the fact that their leader was a girl, well, that made it even worse.
Beaten by a girl, beaten by a girl, nya 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 nya.
Thanks to Joan, Orleans was the turning point in the 100 Years' War. Then Joan put in a good word for me and the people made me king. I love that, Joan!
If we'd lost, France might have become, part of England. Can you imagine? No French toast or French fries? As if.
Okay, so Joan of Arc beat us. But then she was captured by our allies from Burgundy.
Well, they brought Joan to my jail after her arrest. But she wore pants. I didn't know whether to put her in jail with the boys or with the girls.
So what's wrong with that?
Well then, on May 28th, 1431, we put her on trial.
And we find the defendant guilty.
Well, then we had to burn her at the stake, didn't we? I mean, that's what the sentences were in those days, you know?
Au revoir.
Oh dear. Well, that's a little extreme, don't you think?
Quite. You look like you could use a nice, refreshing glass of water.
Thanks, Molly.
I mean, orders is orders, and we had ours. And women wearing parts is totally against the way we do things around here. I mean, it's the Middle Ages. It's what we call heresy, isn't it?
Heresy means a controversial or weird opinion or doctrine. Okay?
And besides, it was spring.
So, bottom line, on May 30th, 1431, I was given the ultimate punishment for my ideas and for wearing pants. Drag.
I did what I could.
I
Nostradamus predict Joan of Arc will be burned at the stake.
I was right!
But anyways, I guess I didn't do too bad, because now I'm like a patron saint of France.
Ooh!
But like in heaven, you get to wear whatever you like, and like no one gives you a hard time.